Are you curious to discover the legends behind classic rock? Find out how it all began and why it still rocks today? Let's dive into the ultimate guide to classic rock. Right, let's start at the beginning, shall we? Picture this. It's the late 1950s, and something revolutionary is brewing in the music world. But here's a question for you. Do you know which single moment truly sparked the classic rock revolution? Drop your guess in the comments. Classic rock didn't just appear overnight. It evolved from blues, country, and rhythm and blues. Chuck Berry's guitar licks, Little Richard's wild piano, and Elvis's rebellious spirit laid the foundation. But the real magic happened when British bands took these American sounds and made them their own. Now here's where it gets interesting. 4 lads from Liverpool were about to change everything. But they weren't the only ones. The British invasion was brewing, and it would reshape music forever. Can you name the first British band to hit #1 in America? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't the Beatles. The Beatles didn't just play music. They created a cultural earthquake. From Love Me Do to Abbey Road, they proved rock could be both commercially massive and artistically groundbreaking. But here's what's fascinating. They almost called it quits after just 7 years together. While the Beatles were the lovable mop-tops, the Rolling Stones were the dangerous rebels. They brought raw blues and attitude that parents definitely didn't approve of. Mick Jagger once said they'd still be touring when they were ancient. And bloody hell, he was right, wasn't he? Then came Led Zeppelin, and everything got heavier. Jimmy Page's guitar wizardry, Robert Plant's soaring vocals, and that thunderous rhythm section created something entirely new. Stairway to Heaven alone has been called the greatest rock song ever. But do you agree? What's your pick for the ultimate classic rock anthem? Pink Floyd took rock into uncharted territory. Concept albums, mind-bending lyrics, and those incredible live shows with lasers and flying pigs. The Dark Side of the Moon stayed on the charts for 14 years. 14 years. That's longer than most bands' entire careers. The Who brought pure power and spectacle, and they literally destroyed their instruments on stage. Pete Townshend's windmill guitar moves, Keith Moon's explosive drumming, and Roger Daltrey's microphone swinging created rock theatre. They proved rock concerts could be as much about the show as the music. Deep Purple and Black Sabbath pushed rock even further into heavy territory, essentially creating heavy metal. Smoke on the Water has that riff everyone knows, while Black Sabbath's dark themes and Tony Iommi's crushing guitar sound influenced countless metal bands. Here's a thought. Without these pioneers, would we have had Metallica or Iron Maiden? America wasn't about to let Britain have all the fun. Bands like Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Doors, and Jimi Hendrix showed that American rock had its own unique flavor. And speaking of Hendrix, many consider him the greatest guitarist who ever lived. Bold claim, but can you think of anyone who played with more passion and innovation? Then there's Southern rock. Lynyrd Skynyrd, the Allman Brothers, and others brought a distinctly American sound with triple guitar attacks and storytelling lyrics. Freebird alone is 8 minutes of pure rock perfection. But here's the halfway point of our journey, and I've got to ask, are you enjoying this trip through rock history? If so, smash that like button and subscribe for more music deep dives. The 1970s brought arena rock. Queen, Boston, Journey, and others created anthems designed for massive crowds. Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody broke every rule about radio-friendly songs, yet became one of the most beloved tracks ever. Freddie Mercury's voice and stage presence were simply otherworldly, weren't they? This era also gave us the guitar heroes. Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, and later Eddie Van Halen revolutionized what the electric guitar could do. Van Halen's eruption literally changed how people thought about guitar playing. Which guitar solo gives you goosebumps every single time? But then punk rock arrived and said, enough with the 10-minute solos. The Ramones, Sex Pistols, and The Clash brought rock back to its rebellious roots with short, fast, aggressive songs. It was a direct challenge to classic rock's complexity, and it worked brilliantly. Here's the remarkable thing. Classic rock never really died. Bands like Foo Fighters, the Black Keys, and Greta Van Fleet proved that the classic rock spirit lives on. Even hip-hop artists sample classic rock tracks regularly. The influence is everywhere if you know where to look. But why does classic rock endure? Perhaps it's because these songs capture universal emotions: rebellion, love, freedom, and the simple joy of loud guitars and pounding drums. The melodies stick in your head, the lyrics speak to your soul, and the energy is absolutely infectious. What classic rock song instantly transports you back in time? From Chuck Berry's Duck Walk to Freddie Mercury's We Will Rock You, classic rock gave us moments that defined generations. These weren't just songs. They were anthems, battle cries, and soundtracks to millions of lives. The guitar riffs are immortal, the voices unforgettable. So there you have it, classic rock in all its glory. From humble beginnings to global domination, these legends created the soundtrack to rebellion and freedom. Now I'm curious, which classic rock era speaks to you most? The British invasion, the heavy metal birth, the arena rock spectacle? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this journey through rock history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into music that changed the world. Until next time, keep on rocking, and remember, the best classic rock song is always the one that's playing right now.